What's up, everyone? It's Jordan, aka the Lazy Ass Reefer, and I hope first and foremost that everyone had a good Christmas. Hope Santa brought everything that you were looking for, and hope most importantly that you got a day off from work and you were able to spend some time with your friends and family. So I just wanted to do this quick video today as kind of an update on the 75-gallon reef and just some things that I'm working on. So I'll back up a little bit. You can see I finally finished hanging the lights, and I made a shelf up here. My wife actually suggested it's a good way to organize my testing equipment, things like that, little syringes I use to feed the tank, so on and so forth. I preferred the open top look, just with the white brackets. They kind of disappeared, as you were standing back a little bit, and I just liked it. But the shelves do look pretty cool. I stained them myself with a nice like espresso wood stain, and it is nice being able to just organize my stuff in those baskets up there. So marriage is a compromise, right? So now that I have that project done, my next area of focus was making the tank as quiet as possible. And some people just don't care, or they don't hear it, or the natural noise level in their house is a little bit louder, so it just kind of blends in. For instance, like the fans on the V-Par Spectra lights, I personally, as soon as I walk in the room, I hear them, but it's kind of like my project, my baby, so of course I'm obsessing over the details. My wife claims that she never hears it though. And I will say, as soon as my refrigerator kicks on or my dishwasher's going, I don't hear it. But right now when my house is dead silent, the fans are pretty noticeable. But that'll be a different video where I talk about possibly swapping out the cooling fans in there with some quieter fans. But for right now, one thing I'm going to focus on, so that I get a little bit closer, you might be able to hear it. You can just ignore this thing. I was just trying. That's kind of an experiment right there, but there's just a trickling noise, and I don't know how sensitive my my camera is, if it'll pick it up or not. But the trickling noise, even more so than the fans, just kind of drives me nuts. And also over here, when my refugium lights kick on at night, you can also see the light coming out of the back. So I thought I'd go to Home Depot today and pick up some stuff that will hopefully reduce some of the noise coming out of the back of the tank and also reduce the light. So I picked up this stuff right here. It's just air conditioning weather seal. I did have some left over from when I actually did seal around my air conditioner. I discovered that using 2 of these was the right width to basically shove in there, and it fit just right. But I figured either, if you buy this package where it comes like this, you have to use 2, and so it reduces your overall length. You get the same length, but you don't have to double it up with the large gap material. So the goal is that it'll reduce, obviously, the light coming out of the back, and it will reduce some of that trickling noise coming out of the back just from the sump and all that. So I don't think it's going to be perfect, but hopefully it's a step forward in the right direction of making this as close to as silent as possible. So like I said, let's just take a look over here one more time. That's what it looks like if you come through my house pretty much anytime after 8 o'clock at night when the lights for the refugium and algae scrubber kick on. So I'm going to pause the camera, install the weather seal, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I just finished installing the air conditioner weather seal, and let's take a look at how it looks now. So as you can see, no light coming out of the side. I got to about as far as my hand could reach, which I'd say is about maybe a little less than halfway. It still needs to be tweaked a little bit. There's a cord going down right in there, which I have to tighten that up a little bit. But overall, I'm pretty impressed, considering for 42 inches of this material, it cost, I think it's like $3 at Home Depot. And so now when you walk through the room and you look at the tank like this, there is no light coming out of the back. And you know, this is just one of those jobs where it's as good as, you know, as much time as you're willing to put into it. If you just throw it back there, don't put too much effort into it, it's gonna look like crap. I tried to tuck it, you know, back a little bit further so it's kind of in the shadows, and try to do it as neatly as possible. And so hopefully what this will do is, you know, first and foremost, block the light from coming up the back, because it just looks kind of weird. And hopefully any trickling noises or whatever, or vibrations that are coming from your sump, it'll muffle those noises a little bit. So I'm not going to show it in this video, but I'm probably going to go around here on the other side and try to shove another piece in there. And that's just one step closer to having, you know, a silent tank, because to me it's like it just detracts from the beauty of the tank when you just have all these bubbling or trickling noises. And like I said, let me get up close to these fans. I mean, they were dead quiet when I first bought them, and they have gotten a little bit louder. And I have taken the lights on and vacuumed out the fans and tried to, you know, clean them as much as possible, but it doesn't seem to have helped too much. So there's a lot of videos you can watch on YouTube and various guides on how to replace the fans. It's super easy. They're just regular PC fans. So typically with PC fans, the more money you spend, the quieter they are and the more longevity you'll get out of them. So I would imagine that for a little over $100 for these lights, the fans are probably not that high quality. So like I said, they're not obnoxious. I do hear the slight whir, you know, like a sound, like suction kind of noise. So that will be something that I'll be replacing down the road. And yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna do more videos on replacing the diodes. I'm gonna be picking up an SB Reef Light retrofit kit to upgrade those diodes. So far I have had pretty good growth in my tank. Like these Manipura digitatas are forking off. You can see the white tips where they're just growing non-stop. And my GSP, not sure if you'll be able to see, but it is starting to encrust. Let me get my finger in there real quick. Right there, starting to encrust onto the rock a little bit. So I am having good growth so far, but not as much as I would have expected so far. So that'll be another video down the road. So if you have any questions, comments, drop them in the comment section below. I would love to hear how you guys keep your tanks silent. I think one of the biggest offenders right now is this weir overflow. That's where most of the trickling is coming from. So I'm gonna be checking that out. That's why, you know, I had this piece of polycarbonate that I was just kind of like, well, I wonder how much that would help. But I think the trickling really is coming from those little holes right there. So that's another big noise offender for me. So like I said, if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. If you have any questions about my build, this is a custom stand that I built myself. And yeah, just stay tuned for more videos coming in the future. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos about my tanks and my journey, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.